you can compile that on anything. It might not always run the same because you might have libraries that only work on one operating system, but it will potentially at least compile on any system. So overall, I would say Java's a really good option. It allows you to write the code that anybody can use, and that's I'd say that's preferable, in all honesty. And in generally speaking, that's going to be preferable, or at least it'll give you the options that you might not have with C# or some other language. But yeah, this is our basic class. It has all the basic functions. The only thing I didn't do, and maybe we can do this real quick. Let's set some variables here. Temp user and int temp x. I had a quick question here. Is there an API or something that is used to connect your application to Twitch? There is, Space Cadet. It's called PIRC, which stands for PIRC. I think I have it, actually. Do I have it saved? It's called PIRCBot, PIRCBOT. And I will paste this in into chat. Get everything back up. Of course, you're probably hearing that as I type that out. That's at least what I hope. I haven't played with it yet, and that's the next major step in terms of getting this program going. And that theoretically allows me to connect to an IRC channel. And yeah, Twitch uses IRC channels, if you didn't know. It has an IRC server. And what you do is you connect to it using a dummy account that you create. And then that's what can then scan chat for commands, and it can post things to the room and everything like that. That's what I plan on using. That might not be the update up to date, but that would at least allow you to search for it and allow you to find the newer version. I have the exact link if you want it. Actually, let me just pull that up too. Why not? These guys deserve some credit. How do they say this? Yeah, they call it PIRCBot. Main page. There we go. So, a question from Fabulous Tarek. Is it worth to learn programming apps for Android? I heard you can go to better with iOS development for business. I mean, it depends. It really depends on what you want to do. Android has a huge user base. It really does. And Android, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't looked into this too hard, you can program an Android app without having to pay anything. iOS apps require you to pay like a yearly fee. You need to get access to their store and to their software, and that's partially because they scan any software that you create to make sure that it's fit for the store. It's unfortunate that this falls on the developers, but I think it's $100 a year. It might be a one-time fee. I'm not positive on that. I can research that if you want, but that should give you the basic rundown. I think Android is completely free, though. Like, Google just lets you do whatever you want, which has led to some issues. But if you really wanted to release an app for and you wanted to make money on it, it's really, of course, best if you can do it on both. And I don't know exactly how the code transfers between the two, but I know people do it all the time, obviously, because there are apps that will be the same on both soft pieces of hardware, actually, the phones. And there are libraries, and as Princess Rika brings up there, for mobile you can use libraries that support both, which is even better. And there's still a bit of learning to do to test and deploy in a platform, but it can be made a bit easier. I'm just thinking about this. I forget how to default it, but we're going to do this and temp user. We're going to do this last thing real quick, and we're going to use this to set variables when we declare an object. So in this case, I believe, let's call it Twitter user, so it'll be a little different. And set this to 22. Save it, compile it. Has 17 tickets. Oh, I think that's fine because I set the tickets to 17. So in this case, what I did is I instantiated test app. Instead of giving it the variables it was defaulting to, this actually allows you to set them when you instantiate it. So instead of just going to Twitch user, it goes to Twitter user instead, and I can even change this to Dagenham, for example. And it starts me out with 22 in X, which I then set there, so I'm going to get rid of that. So this is going to make our new variable, and then it's going to print out the X, which should be 22. And then it's going to print out that with all of these. So let's compile that, run that again. So there we go. So there you have it. A basic class with some gets and sets that allow you to modify the variables that are within the class. I'm going to look into what we're going to do next time. I'm hoping I can start including the what's it called? The actual Twitch connection. I hope we can actually start doing the IRC connection and start playing around with that. Maybe do, try and get it to do Hello World in my my Twitch TV Clutter of Cats channel. And if we can get that, then we'll start working on other things too. We'll get all sorts of things. We'll see if we can get it to scan the user list, and we'll go from there. That's probably more than enough. To talk about the schedule, I'm hoping that we're going to be on Saturday the 25th, 6th, 7th, I think it is. Saturday the 27th. Let me just verify that I'm any good with dates. Yep. Saturday the 27th. I'm going to try for a 3 p.m. start time. And I might do an hour, maybe 2, and that's all Eastern Standard Time, which is 5 hours behind GMT. I'm hoping that that's what we can do. I'm not going to make any promises. That's what I'm going to shoot for, though. So, hour or 2, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to discuss some things with people in the channel now, because Princess Rika's been going crazy with information. And I had a question from Fabulous Tarek. What do you think is the best GUI library for Java, and is Swing out of date? Swing is what I used, but that's now that's now back in like 2003. If you're using Oracle Java, not OpenJDK, apparently it's missing JavaFX, then look into JavaFX. I am going to keep that in mind. In fact, I'm going to add that to here, actually. So, and just so people know who don't know programming, these two symbols, the slash and the star, and then the star and the slash again, indicate that this is all comment, which means that the program doesn't take this into effect. And then interface options, Swing or JavaFX. Let me make sure I got that right. I unfortunately can't go all night. My wife did make dinner while I was working on this. Right, hon?
What?
You made dinner?
Yeah.
I don't want to get that I don't want that to get entirely cold before I eat it. Oh man. But we created our, our first class and set ourselves up pretty well so that next time we can come in and actually start working with Perkbot, which I'm hoping. Did you hear the sizzling? Is that what it was? Because it really did sound kind of loud in the background to me. But of course, I'm also, I don't know, 20 feet from it. The kitchen's right next to me. I'm actually on the dining room table. And I'm kind of trying to keep track of time. I have a meeting with a friend coming up relatively soon, and I need to actually download a game for that because we're going to play Gauntlet with him. GameFox says your cooking was loud.
What's that?
GameFox says your cooking was loud.
Oh, I tried to keep it down, but I knew it wasn't gonna work.
No, of course it's you can't silence the. Was that potatoes you were making?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So thank you for coming, everybody. I really do mean that. Thank you for following if you followed. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna sign in at some point, and we'll probably try playing some games. And um, and we'll check it out while we'll try and get the follow thing working while we're doing that. She wasn't shouting at the potatoes, but anyway. Seriously, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you for helping me keep interest in this, because otherwise I would probably never work on this at all. Um, yeah. Anyway, thank you. And oh, there it is. Fabulous Tarek. Thank you for following. Thank you for helping me test that too. I don't know. I think it wasn't working until just now, but maybe not. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I hope to see you again on Saturday. If not on Saturday, because if something comes up, for example, and oh, by the way, we do have a Twitter account. I will be posting there. Um, if not Saturday, then definitely on Monday. Oh, thank you for following MicroStarps if you're still here. And I know I'm going to look into doing more than an hour. We don't get very far in an hour. This was kind of a trial. This is the first week of doing it, so hopefully, hopefully as I learn how to do this and everything and get more comfortable with it, we'll move on to 2 hours. But again, keep in mind I do work for about 9 hours before this. Like I get home and immediately log in, so I don't even have much of a chance to rest before doing this. Um, Next week, if next week's more relaxing, we'll see if we can't bump this up to 2 hours and do 6 to 8. But again, maybe we'll give it a shot. And I'm thinking on Saturdays we might try and do 2 hours, maybe more. We'll see. Those are going to be optional. But anyway, I've said it a bunch of times. Last time I'm saying it. Thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you for following. And I will be glad to see you again and see you all back here. So, thank you.